Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you haven't been here before, and happy Halloween if you happen to watch this video on or around Halloween. I probably should have put my witch hat on for this video. Somebody asked me about my DIY Halloween lanterns, and I actually made two of them and they look like this. You can't actually hold it because I only used twine to kind of do a little fake handle here, but this is what it looks like, at least in the light. It doesn't look as creepy as it does in the dark. So today I have a drawing I'm very excited to share with you guys. It's something I've been working on this entire week and you probably already know what it is. I'm also really excited because I recently finished a Skillshare class. It's my second ever Skillshare class about the pumpkin that I drew earlier this month, and I'm going to include the link as soon as it is posted for those of you who are interested in checking it out. Anyways, before I get too sidetracked, let's go ahead and get straight into this drawing. So let's talk a little bit about this drawing. First of all, it took me roughly a week to finish this, and that is one of the fastest time slots I've ever finished a colored pencil portrait in before. Most of the time it takes me a lot longer to finish a colored pencil portrait, especially because I don't usually have a lot of time each day to dedicate to this. But I really wanted to finish this one before Halloween since it's such a Halloween related drawing, of course, so I decided to set aside even more time to work on it. As you already know, this drawing is of Count Dracula, and I drew the Christopher Lee version, which was the 1958 film adaptation, I believe, and Christopher Lee played Dracula in this one. So I didn't do the original Dracula from, I believe, the 1930s, that a lot of people probably would recognize, mainly because I didn't want to do another black and white drawing right now, but also because I thought that less people have drawn the Christopher Lee version, so I decided to just go ahead and do this one instead and use my colored pencils and make it a little bit colorful and fun. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the pencils. So I'm using the Polychromos pencils as well as the Caran Luminance. Sometimes I like to mix these two sets because each set has colors that the other set doesn't always necessarily have, and also the Polychromos are really suited for fine detail and they stay sharp all the time, so I like to use those sometimes for the finer details, so I don't always have to sharpen my Caran pencils, which I tend to use more for the wider areas or blending and things like that. But I really had to use a mixture of colors here because there was a ton of different light reflecting off of his face, and this often happens when I try to draw movie scenes or famous shots from movies because there's often kind of weird light reflecting and highlights and strange shadows since it's kind of from a film and it's all over the place. But I've kind of gotten used to drawing this type of portrait because I've done quite a few of them. Colored pencil portraits are actually something I find to be pretty difficult. I'm more confident in my graphite and charcoal portraits than I am my colored pencil portraits, which is one of the reasons I want to kind of challenge myself to do more of these. And going into next year, depending on what happens, because I don't want to be planning after this year. I've kind of given up on meticulously planning things out because this year has gone a little bit awry, but as for next year, one of my loose plans is to improve on my colored pencil work, do a lot more colored pencil portraits and focus on that, as well as my graphite and charcoal portraits, but since I'm more confident in those, I want to put more effort into my colored pencil portraits. So that's enough colored pencil ranting for now. More on that later when I get closer to the ending stages of this drawing, as I'm still building up the skin tone a lot here, and this is going to take me a while. As you can see, the process of getting everything mixed together and putting down all those colors and building them up with skin is a lot. But I did want to talk a bit about the inspiration behind this. So obviously I'm drawing Dracula because it's Halloween, and it's one of the movie monsters or classic monsters such as Frankenstein and like the Wolfman, and I've already drawn Frankenstein, and I hope to draw more of the classic movie monsters as well. Another reason I chose to draw Dracula this year is because I didn't want to do anything too scary. I felt like 2020 was scary enough, and last year I did a lot of pretty scary drawings as well as the year before that. This year I'm just not really feeling it. Arguably my scariest drawing I've done this year is the Black Widow spider I drew in the last video, which is very creepy and scary for a lot of reasons. I thought that Dracula would be a good choice because he is a little bit scary, but he's more of a classic Halloween icon. Now it is actually going to be a full moon this Halloween, and so I feel like I kind of missed the opportunity to draw a werewolf because that's such a good opportunity to draw a werewolf, but I couldn't decide on a reference photo or a character that I wanted to draw. So I think I'm going to postpone that until next Halloween. Obviously now I don't have the time to do it, and I don't really want to be drawing werewolves in November anyways. It's just not really something I feel like doing, and I think that it was fun to draw Dracula this year, but I do feel like I missed that opportunity, so I might have to go ahead and plan to do that next year. I don't know. What do you guys think? I've mentioned this before in another video that I was kind of planning on drawing a werewolf at some point, or even the Wolfman, but let me know what movie is your favorite or what werewolf character is your favorite, and I have to contemplate which one I want to draw. Before I forget to say it, I also want to mention that I hope everybody has a fun and safe Halloween despite things going on right now. I know there's still ways to have fun and do crafts and celebrate at home too, and not everybody celebrates Halloween of course, but for those of you who do, I hope that you still have a fun time. I'm still planning on carving a pumpkin and doing a couple of crafty things and watching some scary movies and things like that. Even though there's not much to do outside, I still think it's worth celebrating, and I'm really big on the fact that holiday season is approaching, and I don't want the weirdness of the world right now to completely ruin holiday season, so I've just been extra festive and decorated even more this year than I did last year, and I've just been super festive and not wanting anything to ruin holiday season, so you'll probably see this continue with me through December as I celebrate Christmas. But anyways, what else was I going to say about Halloween? Oh, I think I was going to ask you guys what your favorite Halloween character or Halloween movie is, whether it's a fun Halloween movie or a scary one, a fun character, a cute character, a scary character, whatever. I'm curious to know what your favorite Halloween character is and if you do celebrate Halloween or not where you live. Oh, and another thing before I forget is I know that I've drawn a lot of Halloween related things this month and not done a ton of tutorials. And I do want to say that I'm going to focus more on reviews and tutorial type content next month going forward, but it's a little bit tricky for me because I love to do this Halloween related content in October, and it's not always something that I know how to make a tutorial out of. But regardless, I hope that you still enjoyed this month's worth of content. And I've also been working on a Skillshare class for the pumpkin I drew at the beginning of the month. The class is about 45 minutes long, I believe, and I've been working on it all month because those things do take time, but I finally finished it and I'm planning on posting it on Friday, which is actually when this video should be posted, so today, or by the 31st, which is Saturday, and that will be up, so I will leave a link once that's completed in my description in case any of you want to check that one out. Alright, back to the drawing itself now that I've actually gotten close to the end here. You can see I've really tried to build up on that skin tone and I'm working on the hair. And also I wanted to ask, is it obvious that he's a vampire? Because I wanted to make it obvious. This photo of course has a bit of blood dripping down his chin, and then you can see his lips are red, his teeth are a little bit strange looking, and he has bloodshot eyes. So for those who don't recognize the actor as Dracula, hopefully you can tell just by the actual content of the picture itself that he's a vampire. That was my main goal, and that's why I steered away from using other photos, because I wasn't sure if it would be obvious that I was drawing Dracula then. So I hope it was somewhat obvious that he's a vampire or Dracula, and I think at this point maybe it doesn't look as obvious, but once you see the actual shirt and the outfit, You'll see what I mean. I'm going to work on that in a minute and you'll see that it all kind of comes together. At this stage though, I was a bit worried, like, are people going to know that it's Dracula, or does it just look like some random crazy person, or does it look like a random cannibal, as my friend had said? So hopefully everything turns out okay here, but I know from the end result that I got that I feel like it looks pretty accurately like Dracula and that he looks like a vampire, so I was happy with it. Okay, I don't really want to talk the entire way through for this one, but I feel like I'm going to end up talking most of the way through, so I apologize for all the talking. I did want to talk a little bit about his like neck and shirt area. For some reason when I'm drawing a portrait, like the most satisfying part is finishing the face area and the hair, and then only having to work on the neck and like the shirt and the outfit or whatever they're wearing. And it does take a lot of time, but for some reason it feels like the drawing is already done at that point, and it just feels like I'm doing the very last portion, even if it takes a while. And it's just really fun for me. I don't really know why. I always save those parts for last too, and I just feel really satisfied when I finish those areas, and I feel like the drawing is already complete before I even finish those areas, and those areas just feel like they fly by for me. I don't really know what it is. I think it's because the face and hair is so detail heavy, and then when you go to draw like the neck or the shirt or the outfit, it's usually not. It's usually a bit more simple and just a wide area or a broad area to color in. So it's a bit fun for me. I don't know, do any of you guys have the same experience when you're drawing portraits? Anyways, I think I'm going to stop talking for the voiceover now and just let you watch this satisfying portion of me finishing up the clothing. It's all done, you guys. Here's the final drawing. I can't really show it in the entire shot, but I can kind of show you like this. I actually think that this bottom part here, like his collar and shirt and everything, make everything go together a little bit more because he's wearing black, and then you have the red lips and the little bit of blood and everything, so I think it makes him look a lot more like Dracula now that I finished that, so I'm not as worried about that. But I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on this drawing. Even though this is done, I might add a couple of touch-up details to it later today that I didn't have time to do last night, as I was kind of in a rush to get this one done. But I'm so excited that this one is finished. I really love how it turned out. And yeah, I think that's all, but I'm really excited to hear what you think of this drawing. Thank you guys so much for watching as always. I hope that you enjoyed today's video and that you liked this Dracula drawing as much as I enjoyed creating it. And I hope that you guys have a fun and safe Halloween, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys!